In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to give you some ideas and resources for mentoring honors contracts. I'm sure you've had the situation where the students come up to you and doesn't know what they want to do for a contract in your course, and I hope to generate some ideas for you with this 5-minute video. The first thing you should know is that the Honors website has plenty of resources for you, including these videos and an Honors contract library. If you first go to the Honors website, honors.columbusState.edu, you'll find the Honors College page and faculty resources over to the left. Once there, you'll see all of the resources available to faculty members divided up by the type of honors coursework that you are teaching. In this case, we're working with upper division contracts. So you can go to this website to find information about honors contracts, what they are, and how to complete them. Down at the bottom, we also have Honors Contract Library. On the Contract Library page, you'll see all of the different subjects that you might be teaching, and within each of those subjects, you'll find each semester has different contracts that were written by students. So it can give you different ideas about the different types of contracts and projects that a student might pursue. But before you explore the library, let me give you a few tips about developing a project with your student. First of all, let's talk about what a contract shouldn't be. We don't want a contract to be just a graded assignment that you've given to your classes before. We don't want it to be busy work. We don't want you to take a normal paper that you assign in your classes and make it longer. We don't want it to be just extra homework problems or reading assignments. The idea is to make the contract an enriching experience for the students so that they can go deeper into the information you are presenting in your classroom. We don't want it to be part of the expected workload of the class. But there's a lot of different things that students can do to earn honors credit. They might work like an apprentice in your lab or in a research archive, working with you on your research project if it's related to the class. It might be working with original or primary sources as opposed to regular course materials that you normally use with your regular students. You might add additional readings, discussions. You want to synthesize a topic and meet with a student on a regular basis in your office hours and then have a final reflective paper. You might want to have them complete a policy paper or a literature review. This is usually the most common type of honors contract. You might also consider having them do service learning projects or do something interdisciplinary that can connect two different disciplines to the material in your class. You could also have them design teaching tools or adapt course materials or even do a best practices teaching unit. This is really good for future teachers that they can present to other students in the class. The idea behind the project should not be just to produce a paper, but it could be to do a presentation or even a conference presentation so that the student can actually get practice presenting and defending their work. It's fine to have your student present their final work to your class. Just make sure that the student is clear about what products should be produced with the final product. If it's going to be a PowerPoint presentation, make sure they know how long it is, how many sources they should cite. Let me give you a few creative thinking outside the box ideas. At one point, a history student built a castle using a simulation software and research about Spanish history to determine exactly how a castle should be built. It was a really enriching project where he met with the faculty member 4 or 5 times during the semester and then presented the castle to the entire class. We've also had 2 students who prepared for a case study competition that was going to be presented at a human resources conference. The case study competition was actually presented to the class with other faculty members watching and critiquing. We've had a chemistry professor who had a book club with several of his chemistry students. It was material that was outside of the class, so you could consider doing the same type of thing with a journal club where you meet every 2 weeks or so. We've also had a health science student who was in a death and dying class, and she volunteered for a hospital and kept a reflective journal and wrote a reflective paper over that. That was a service learning project. We've also had a theater and music student combine their efforts in a class on Old English literature, and they actually wrote a song from that era and performed it to the class. A chemistry major also had an excellent project where he produced models of organic compounds using a 3D printer. All of these ideas are just letting you think outside the box, but I really encourage you, if you want to brainstorm more, to give me a call. If you have an idea, let me know. It doesn't have to be a research paper. It can be so much more, as long as it's an enriching experience for your student. Thanks again for working with them.